deep under the earth, hidden from the eyes of the world. There was a secret human military base. It was not on any map, and no satellite could find it. The humans built it for one purpose only: to create a weapon that could change war forever. Inside the cold steel walls of the base, bright white lights burned day and night. Scientists in gray uniforms worked in silence, typing, testing, and watching strange liquids move inside glass containers. Among these, there was one vial, small, glowing with a fiery blue light. It was called the Prime Serum, the most dangerous creation of human science. The Prime Serum was designed to push a human soldier beyond all limits. It could make a soldier run faster than a machine, lift weights greater than tanks, and see in total darkness. But there was something else, something hidden in the formula. The serum did not only give strength, it also unlocked the most aggressive, primal emotions of the body. That was why the scientists kept it locked in a vault, guarded by soldiers. Day and night, far above the surface, in the silent forest. Another pair of eyes watched. She was Lyra, an alien girl from a distant world. Her people were explorers, but not all of them trusted humans. Lyra was young and curious, always breaking rules, always looking where she should not, and now, her glowing silver eyes followed the human base hidden under the ground for weeks. She had seen soldiers come and go, trucks bringing strange machines, and scientists working late nights. Her people warned her never to go near the humans. But her curiosity was stronger than fear. She wanted to know what secret they were hiding. She wanted to see with her own eyes what humans were building. That night, when the forest was silent and the sky full of stars, Lyra moved closer. Her light steps made no sound on the ground, her skin glowing faintly in the moonlight. She found a narrow shaft hidden behind old stone and broken roots. It led down into darkness, air cold and heavy. Lyra hesitated, her heart beating fast, but curiosity pulled her inside. The shaft opened into a wide tunnel. There were pipes, wires, and metal walls that hummed with human power. Her alien senses picked up voices far away, but she kept moving. She reached a chamber full of shelves, crates, and glass containers glowing. In the dim light, and there, on the highest shelf, she saw the vial of blue fire. Lyra felt her chest tighten. The light of the vial pulled her closer, like it was alive. She reached up, her fingers trembling, and took it in her hands. The glass was warm, the liquid inside swirling as if it knew it had been touched. Her throat was dry from the long journey. She did not think, she did not plan, she only lifted the vial to her lips. One drop touched her tongue, then another, then more. She swallowed the glowing liquid. Not knowing it was a human weapon, at once, her body froze. The liquid burned like fire inside her chest, spreading into every nerve. Her vision blurred, her knees shook, and she fell against the shelf. The sound of glass breaking filled the chamber. Echoing through the tunnels, her hands glowed, her veins shining with blue fire. Lyra gasped, her heart beating like thunder. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. Her skin shimmered with strange patterns, glowing and fading like waves. She could feel her muscles tighten, her senses grow sharper. Every sound in the chamber became clear, every shadow brighter. She could even hear her own blood rushing in her veins. But then came the fear. The serum was not made for her kind. Her alien body fought against it, twisting, shaking, trying to reject it. Lyra felt both pain and power, terror and desire, all mixed together. She held her head, falling to her knees, as her mind filled with unknown emotions. Far away, alarms began to ring. Red lights flashed in the tunnels. Soldiers rushing with weapons in hand. They had seen the vault broken, the vial missing, and the sound of shattered glass. The command center shouted orders: contain the intruder. Do not let her escape and bring back the serum. Lyra tried to stand, her legs weak. Her vision split in two. But when she touched the wall, the steel bent under her hand like soft clay. Her eyes widened, she was stronger, faster, and sharper than before. But she also felt something dark. Something inside her chest pushing for release. Footsteps echoed closer. Soldiers in black armor appeared at the end of the corridor. Their rifles aimed at her dropped to the ground. One of them shouted. Lyra looked at them, her glowing eyes wide with fear and confusion. She did not understand their words, but she understood their weapons. Her body trembled, her heart racing. And before she could think, she moved faster than she had ever moved before, like lightning through the shadows. She darted past the soldiers, bullets followed her, sparks flying against the walls, but none touched her. Her body moved on its own. Wild, unstoppable, and for the first time in her life, Lyra was afraid of herself. To be continued. Lyra ran through the tunnels, her feet light. Her movements faster than her mind could understand. Her heart pounded like drums, each beat louder than the last. Behind her, alarms screamed. Red lights painted the walls, soldiers shouted. Their boots thundered against the steel floor. But Lyra moved like wind, slipping through shadows, dodging bullets, breaking doors that blocked her way. She had never felt such power before. Every breath filled her chest with fire. Every step sent energy rushing through her body. Her eyes glowed brighter, her ears caught the smallest sounds. She could hear the clicking of rifles, the whispers of soldiers, even the hum of electricity in the walls. The serum was alive inside her, changing her, breaking her apart and building her again. Lyra reached a storage room, doors sliding shut behind her. She leaned against the cold wall, gasping, her hands shaking. Her glowing veins spread across her skin like burning rivers. Pulsing with light, she touched her arm, feeling heat under her skin. Her alien body struggling to contain the human weapon. Fear struck her. What had she done? What had she swallowed? Her people always warned her about humans, their science, their weapons, their hunger for control. But she had not listened, and now she carried something inside her that was never meant for her kind. Her stomach twisted, her vision swam. One moment she felt like she was flying. The next she felt like her body was breaking apart. Her hands clawed at the steel wall, leaving deep marks like a beast scratching stone. Her breathing grew heavy. Raw emotions surged through her chest. Rage, hunger, desire, fear all tangled together. Too strong to fight. Lyra closed her eyes. In her mind, she saw flashes. Not her memories, but something else. Images of human soldiers training, their pain, their victories, their battles. The serum carried not only strength, but echoes of those who were tested before. It whispered to her, calling her to fight, to conquer, to destroy. She shook her head, pressing her hands to her ears. No. Her voice trembled. Though no human words left her mouth, she would not be their weapon. She would not be their monster. Suddenly, the steel door burst open. A squad of soldiers stormed in. Rifles raised, faces hard under helmets. Target located. One shouted. Lyra opened her eyes, her veins glowing brighter. Her body trembling between fear and fury. The first soldier fired. The bullets tore through the air. But Lyra moved, faster than thought. Her hands snapped forward, and the bullet crushed against her palm like a pebble. Her eyes widened in shock, but her body kept moving. She swept her arm, and the soldiers flew back, crashing against the walls like toys. She had not meant to strike, not meant to fight. But the serum inside her burned with instinct, pushing her body to act. The soldiers groaned on the floor. Their weapons scattered. Lyra stood in the middle of the room, her chest rising and falling. Like a storm, she felt both terrified and unstoppable, trapped between two worlds. Her head spun. Voices echoing in her ears. "Do not resist. Surrender now," shouted one soldier, crawling to his weapon. But another voice inside her whispered louder, "Fight them, crush them. They are weak. They are prey." Lyra pressed her hands against her head, trying to silence the storm. Her glowing eyes flickered with tears. She did not want to kill, but the serum wanted blood. She staggered back, broke through another door, and ran. Her speed carried her out of the tunnels, into the night forest, where cold air hit her burning. Skin, the stars shone above, the trees whispered in the wind. Lyra fell to her knees in the grass, clutching her chest. The serum raged inside her. Every nerve alive, every thought broken, her body trembled. But the forest seemed sharper, brighter, louder than ever before. She could hear the wings of insects, the heartbeat of animals far away. She could even sense the soldiers moving in the distance. Searching for her, Lyra pressed her hand against the ground. The earth cracked under her fingers, roots twisted, grass burned where her glowing veins touched. The serum was spreading, mixing with her alien nature, creating something new, something dangerous. She screamed into the night, a sound that shook the trees. Birds scattered, animals fled. Even the wind seemed to run. Her scream was not only pain, it was power. Raw and untamed. For the first time, she understood she was no longer only Lyra. She was something else, something the humans had never planned for. Her silver hair whipped in the wind. Her glowing body pulsing like a star in the dark forest. She could feel her alien blood and human weapon fused together. And in that terrifying moment, she realized she could never go back. Not to her people, not to her old self. The serum had made her more than alien, more than human. It had made her a storm. Far away, the searchlights of drones scanned the forest. The humans were coming, desperate to catch her before the serum spread further. Lyra stood on shaking legs, her glowing eyes fixed on the horizon. Her heart pounded with a new truth. She was no longer running from them. She was running from herself. The forest was dark, but to Lyra, it glowed like daylight. Her new senses made every leaf sharp, every sound clear. She could hear the soldiers spreading out, their radios clicking, their boots crushing the earth. Drones hummed above, searchlights cutting through the trees, hunting her like prey. Her chest burned with every breath, her veins still glowing faint blue. She wanted to hide, but her body felt restless. Her legs shaking with power she could not control. She pressed her back against an old tree, trying to calm her breathing, but then she heard voices. Human voices, closer than ever. Sector 4 clear. One soldier whispered into his radio, "Wait, movement ahead." Another said. Lyra's heart raced. Her ears caught every word, though she had never spoken their language. It was strange. Serum seemed to carry their meaning straight into her mind. She crouched low, her silver eyes scanning the shadows. 3 soldiers moved carefully through the trees, rifles raised. Their armor gleamed faintly under the moonlight, their helmets reflecting pale beams. They looked cautious, but confident, as if they believed nothing in this forest could stop them. Lyra gripped the soil with trembling hands. She wanted to run, to escape before they found her. But her body refused. Her muscles locked, her pulse quickened. The serum whispered inside her chest again. A voice sharp and tempting. Do not hide. Do not fear. They are weak. You are power. She shook her head, whispering softly to herself. No, I am not a weapon. I am not. But the glow in her veins grew stronger, betraying her position. One soldier's eyes caught the light, and he shouted, "Contact, target sighted." The forest exploded with noise. Bullets ripped through the branches. Flashes of fire lit the dark. Lyra gasped, her body moving before her mind. She leaped sideways, faster than an arrow, the ground cracking under her feet. She landed behind a tree bark splintering as bullets slammed into it. Her hands shook, Her chest rose and fell like a storm. She had never been in battle, never faced humans like this. Fear mixed with power. And it was too much to hold. The soldiers advanced, careful but determined. They wanted her alive, but they were ready to use force. One soldier tossed a light sphere that exploded in white brightness. Lyra stumbled, her glowing eyes burning, her head ringing with noise. But then her instincts took over. Her vision sharpened, her muscles surged. Before the soldiers could react, she dashed forward. Her hand struck the first soldier's chest, and his body flew back, armor denting as he hit the ground. The other two fired, but she twisted between the bullets, her movements like flowing water. She grabbed a weapon, crushed it in her glowing hand, sparks flying into the night. The soldiers stared in shock, frozen for a moment too long. Lyra's other hand swept him off his feet, sending him crashing into the roots of a tree. The last soldier stumbled back, fear clear in his voice. "She's not human, she's something else." He raised his rifle, but his hands trembled. Lyra stepped closer, her glowing eyes fixed on him. For a moment, she could see herself in his fear. She realized she was becoming the monster they believed her to be. Her chest tightened, her hands shook violently. She did not want to kill. She did not want to destroy, but the serum pushed harder, whispering, "End him, prove your strength," she screamed. A sound that echoed through the forest. The soldier froze, his rifle slipping from his hands. But instead of striking him, Lyra turned and leaped high into the trees. Her body carried her far, landing on a branch that bent but did not break. She crouched there, looking down at the soldier below. His eyes wide, his breath heavy, he grabbed his radio and shouted, "Command! The subject has abilities beyond control, requesting backup." Lyra's heart pounded. Her glowing veins flickered like fading fire. She pressed her hand against her chest, whispering to herself again, "No, I am not their weapon. I am not their monster." But deep inside, she feared the serum was stronger than her will. From the distance, she could hear more soldiers coming. Louder, faster. Helicopters roared in the sky. Drones swarmed like angry insects. The entire forest was alive with human machines. And she knew this was only the beginning. Lyra leaped from branch to branch, moving deeper into the woods. But her mind kept returning to that soldier's eyes. The fear, the shock, the helplessness. It was not just their fear of her, it was her fear of herself. The serum was changing her, pushing her toward violence. Every moment she resisted felt like tearing herself in two. But how long could she fight it? How long before she lost control? The forest whispered around her, cold and endless. Lyra kept running. But she knew she could not run forever. The humans would not stop. The serum would not stop. And soon, she would have to face both. The night forest stretched endlessly. But Lyra could not feel peace in its silence. Her glowing veins flickered like fire under her pale skin. Every breath came heavy. Every step shook with hidden power. The serum inside her body was not quiet, was alive, growing stronger. With each passing moment, she stopped near a river, the water reflecting her silver hair and burning eyes. Her reflection looked like a stranger, not the girl she once was. She knelt, cupping the cold water in her hands, trying to drink, trying to calm herself. But when her fingers touched the surface, the water hissed and steamed, turning white like boiling metal. Lyra gasped, jerking her hands back. The serum had changed her more than she thought. Not only her strength, not only her speed, her very touch was unstable, dangerous. The forest no longer accepted her. Even the water rejected her. She fell to her knees, clutching her chest. Her heart beat like a wild drum, her skin burning hot. She felt waves of emotions rushing through her, emotions she had never known. Anger surged, then sorrow, then something deeper, something primal. Her alien body was built for calm, balance, and harmony. But the human weapon twisted it into chaos, suddenly. A sharp sound split the air drones circling above. Their red eyes blinked through the trees. Scanning the ground, voices followed, soldiers moving closer, calling to each other, "Target." In range, lock her position. Lyra's head snapped up, her glowing eyes catching the moonlight. Her breathing quickened. Her veins burned brighter. She wanted to run, but her legs would not obey. Her body trembled, her mind clouded. Then the voice of the serum whispered again, louder than ever, "Do not flee, destroy them." Feel your power. Her hands curled into fists, her teeth clenched. For a moment, she felt like two minds lived inside her. One begging for peace, one craving battle. The war between them was tearing her apart. Branches snapped. Soldiers entered the clearing, their rifles raised, their visors glowing. They saw her kneeling by the river, her glowing veins pulsing like fire in the night. "Hold position," their leader ordered. "She's unstable. Don't provoke her." But the serum did not wait for orders. Her body moved with violent instinct. Faster than her thoughts, in an instant she leaped, crashing into the first soldier, his armor crumpling like thin metal. He flew across the clearing, slamming in two. A tree with bone-shaking force. The others fired, bullets cutting the air. But Lyra's body twisted and spun, moving like a shadow. Her hand swept through the air, and a burst of blue energy erupted. The bullets melted mid-flight, falling too. The ground as burning scraps. The soldiers staggered, shouting in panic. "Impossible! What is she?" But Lyra could no longer hear them clearly. Her ears filled with the roar of the serum, the pounding of her own heartbeat. Her vision narrowed, colors burned brighter. Every human figure glowing with heat. She struck again, faster than lightning. Another soldier fell, his weapon crushed, his body unconscious. A third stumbled back, fear breaking his stance. Lyra stood in the center of the clearing, her chest heaving, her body glowing brighter than the moon. And then it happened. Her power slipped out of her control. The ground cracked under her feet. Roots tore from the soil. Trees bent as if the forest itself feared her. Her scream split the night, shaking birds from the sky. The river foamed and boiled, steam rising into the air. The soldiers froze, caught between fear and awe. Their leader shouted, "Fall back! Regroup! She's too." Unstable, they pulled their wounded and retreated into the dark, leaving drones hovering nervously above. But Lyra did not chase. She collapsed to her knees, clutching her head, her body burned, her mind spinning. She had not chosen to fight, but the serum had chosen for her. Tears glimmered in her glowing eyes. She whispered in her alien tongue, "I am lost. I am breaking." Her hands dug into the soil, leaving glowing marks that burned into the earth. The forest, once her sanctuary, now felt like a cage. She remembered her people, their warnings, their fears. They had always said humans build weapons that destroyed even themselves. And now she was proof of it. Not human, not alien, but something in between. A dangerous creation. Neither side could control. The night grew colder, but she felt no chill. Her body trembled with raw energy, her heartbeat echoing like war drums. Every shadow seemed alive, every sound sharpened into threats. She was awake in a way she had never been before, not only awake to the forest, but awake to herself. She realized she could never undo what she had done. The serum was part of her now, and though she feared it, she also felt a truth she could not deny. The power inside her was unstoppable. It was both her curse and her weapon. She stood, her glowing eyes scanning the trees far in the distance. More soldiers were coming, their searchlights cutting through the forest like knives. Lyra clenched her fists, her voice a whisper lost in the night. "They will not take me. Not alive." The forest trembled under her steps as she moved deeper. Into the shadows, her dangerous awakening had only begun, and both humans and aliens would soon learn what it meant. The forest was no longer quiet. Engines roared in the distance. Helicopters cut through the sky, their blades shaking the trees. Searchlights swept across the ground, crawling over rocks, rivers, and broken roots. The humans were no longer hunting her with small squads, they were bringing an army. Lyra ran deeper into the woods, her body glowing faintly with blue light. Every step carried her faster than the wind. But the serum made her restless. Her mind screamed for calm, but her body demanded action. It was like being trapped inside herself. Half in control, half a prisoner, she heard the humans moving behind her. Voices sharp through their radios. Target heading north. Close the perimeter. Do not engage without command approval. Keep her contained. The words cut in two. Her mind, she understood them now, not by choice, but by the serum that linked her senses. It was as if she was wired into their world, hearing them as if they spoke her own tongue. Lyra stumbled into a clearing where moonlight poured like silver fire. She stopped, chest rising, eyes glowing, her heart racing. She felt the serum boil inside her, whispering again, "They fear you. They chase you because they know you are stronger. Turn and fight." But another voice, soft and almost lost, whispered in her alien heart, "If you fight, you will lose yourself. You will become what they already fear." Her body shook, her mind torn in two. The serum craved blood, but her spirit wanted peace. Suddenly, soldiers appeared from the shadows, surrounding her in a circle, their rifles aimed, their armor glowing under faint green lights. "Do not resist, you are surrounded," their commander called. Lyra's hands trembled, her glowing veins pulsing. She felt the earth crack under her bare feet, the power begging to be released. One soldier stepped closer, his weapon ready. Lyra's eyes locked on his, and for a moment, everything was silent. She could hear his heart beating, smell his fear, feel the sweat under his helmet. The serum wanted her to strike, to crush him where he stood, but deep inside, she wanted to turn away, to run and never harm another. A loud roar split the night. Helicopters above, dropping nets of glowing wires. The nets fell around her, crackling. With electric fire, Lyra screamed as the energy burned against her skin. The soldiers rushed in, chains ready, their eyes focused on her. Her body bent, her knees sinking. But then the serum erupted. The glowing veins across her arms and chest burst with brighter light. The nets melted, chains snapped. The ground itself split as her power exploded outward. The soldiers flew back like leaves in the wind, their weapons scattering into the grass. The forest shook, branches cracked, and the river nearby surged like a storm. Lyra stood tall, her silver hair burning with light, her eyes wild with fury. For a moment, she was no longer an alien girl, but something greater, something terrifying. The commander, coughing in the dirt, raised his voice. "She cannot be contained. She is unstable. We must end this." Lyra turned her glowing eyes toward him, and he froze. His words caught in his throat as he saw not just power, but sorrow. In her face, she whispered softly, though her words carried through the night. "I did not choose this. You forced it on me." Her voice shook, her tears glowing faint blue as they fell to the ground. For the first time, the humans hesitated, their fear mixed with guilt. Lyra stepped back, trembling. Her body was still blazing with power, but her spirit weakened. She looked at her hands, at the destruction around her, at the broken trees and fallen men. She realized she stood at a crossroad. If she surrendered, they would lock her away, experiment on her, maybe even kill her. If she fought, she would drown in the serum, becoming the weapon she feared. The serum whispered louder, "Choose power, choose survival. They will never accept you. Her alien heart whispered back, "Choose restraint, choose peace. You are more than their weapon." Lyra cried out, her voice breaking. Her body trembled as if split in two, her glowing veins flickering like fading stars. The soldiers, too stunned to move, only watched her struggle. In that moment, they saw not a monster, but a girl caught in a war inside herself. Far above, the helicopter lights circled. Waiting for orders, the commander raised his hand, torn between duty and fear. He looked at Lyra, then at his fallen soldiers. His voice cracked as he said into the radio, "Command, she is not just a target, she is something else." Lyra turned, her glowing eyes catching his gaze for a heartbeat. They shared the same truth. Neither of them wanted this fight. But the forest shook again, another wave of power surging through her body. She knew the serum would not let her rest. Not yet. She leaped high into the air, vanishing into the canopy of trees. The soldiers shouted, chasing her shadow. But she was gone. The commander lowered his weapon, staring into the night where she disappeared, and he whispered what none of them dared to say aloud. "She has a choice." But so do we. Deep in the forest, Lyra collapsed against a tree, her body shaking, her mind torn, her soul heavy. The serum whispered again, "Softer now, the choice is yours, but every choice has a cost." And as the stars burned above her, Lyra knew her chase had only begun, and the hardest choice was still waiting. The forest was still alive with echoes of the chase. Helicopters circled far above, their searchlights cutting across the canopy. Drones buzzed like angry insects, scanning the ground, hunting her trail. But Lyra moved deeper, her glowing veins dimming, her breath uneven, her body trembling. She had been running for hours. Yet her strength felt endless and broken at the same time. The serum kept her moving, filling her with power. But it also drained her spirit. Her alien heart wanted rest, wanted silence. But the human weapon inside her refused. Every step was a battle not with the soldiers behind her, but with herself. At last, she found a small cave hidden behind rocks and moss. The entrance was narrow, the shadows deep. She crawled inside, her body shaking, her eyes glowing faintly in the dark. She pressed her back against the cold stone, listening to the distant hum of machines. Her glowing veins flickered, softer now, but still alive. She held her knees close, whispering in her alien tongue, "I am lost. I am breaking. I cannot hold this forever." Tears burned down her face, glowing as they touched the stone floor. Then a sound broke the silence. A groan, faint but close. Lyra froze, her glowing eyes narrowing. She crawled deeper into the cave and found him, a human soldier. Wounded, lying against the wall, his helmet cracked, his armor scorched, his rifle broken beside him. He must have been thrown here during the last clash, abandoned in the chaos. His chest rose weakly, his voice trembling as he whispered into the dark, "Help. Someone. Please." Lyra's heart pounded. This was her enemy, one of the hunters chasing her. Her glowing veins urged her to finish him, to silence the threat, but her spirit hesitated. Her alien heart ached at the sight of his pain. She crawled closer, her glowing light falling across his face. The soldier gasped, eyes widening, fear flashing in his gaze. "You?" "It's you," he whispered, his voice broken. Lyra tilted her head, watching him with silence. His hand twitched toward his weapon, but it was shattered. Useless. He knew it, and so did she. "I should kill you," he coughed, blood on his lips. But, I cannot even lift my hand. Lyra's glowing veins pulsed, the serum whispering inside her, "Yes, strike him. End the danger before he speaks." But her alien heart answered back, "No. Listen, understand before you destroy. She placed her hand on his chest, not in violence, but in calm. The soldier gasped at the heat of her touch, but then his body relaxed for a moment. The serum burned brighter, but Lyra pushed against it. She forced herself to control it, to use it not for destruction, but for connection. The soldier's eyes softened. His breathing steadied slightly. He looked at her glowing veins, her burning eyes, her trembling form, and he whispered, "You are not a monster, are you?" Lyra tilted her head, confused. The serum whispered again, urging her to silence him, but she ignored it, waiting, listening. The soldier coughed again, his voice weak but clear. "The serum? It was never meant for you." Lyra leaned closer, her silver hair falling across her face. Her glowing eyes locked on his. He continued, "It was made for us, for humans, to make us stronger, faster, unbreakable." His gaze hardened, sorrow mixing with fear, but it was unstable. Dangerous even for us. It twisted the mind, made soldiers too violent, too aggressive. Lyra's veins glowed brighter, as if the serum inside her knew his words. The soldier swallowed, pain cutting through his voice. "They tested it on our own. Many died, others lost their minds. It was abandoned for years." His eyes flicked to her glowing veins, but then he changed it, made it stronger, riskier, and locked it away. Lyra's breath caught, her hands shaking. She whispered, softly in her alien tongue, "And I drank it." The soldier nodded slowly. "Yes, by accident or by fate, it doesn't matter. Your body is not human. It will fight it, twist it, but also maybe survive it." Lyra's chest rose sharply, her mind spinning. Survive, or the soldier's eyes met hers, full of pity and warning, or it will consume you until nothing of you is left. Her body trembled, her glowing veins flickering wildly. The serum inside her pulsed. As if angry at his words, she clutched her chest, gasping, her heart torn. Between fear and fury, the soldier reached weakly toward her, his hand trembling. "You must choose, control it, or let it control you." Lyra stared at him, her glowing eyes wide. A human soldier, her enemy, yet he had given her the truth. Not a command, not an order, but a warning, a chance for the first time. She felt something strange between them, not fear, not hatred, but a fragile connection. Outside, the forest shook with engines again. More soldiers, more machines, the hunt not yet over. The wounded man looked at her, his voice fading. "They will come. They will take you. They will never let you go," he coughed, his breath shallow, his eyes dimming. "But you are not their weapon. Remember that?" Lyra pressed her hand against his chest one last time. Her veins glowed brighter, and warmth flowed from her palm. The soldier's breathing eased, his pain softening, his body sinking into calm sleep. She had not healed him fully, but she had given him peace. She stood, her glowing eyes fixed on the cave entrance. Her choice was not clear, her future not certain. But the soldier's words burned inside her. "Control it, or let it control you." The serum pulsed again, whispering like fire, "You cannot resist me forever." Lyra's voice was low, trembling but firm. "Maybe not forever, but tonight." "I will." She stepped into the night, her glowing veins dim under the moonlight. The chase was still alive, but now she carried a secret, a truth only she knew, and the choice waiting inside her heart. The night was quiet again, but it was not peace. The forest only waited, holding its breath. As if it too feared what Lyra was becoming, she moved through the trees slowly now, our glowing veins pulsing in rhythm with her heartbeat. Every step felt heavier, every breath sharper as the serum inside her reached deeper. Her mind carried the soldier's words, echoing like a warning bell. "Control it, or let it control you." She repeated them again and again, trying to anchor herself. But the serum's whispers were louder, hungrier, wrapping around her thoughts like chains. "Why fight me?" it hissed. "I am your strength, your survival, your future," Lyra clenched her fists, shaking her head. "You are not me. I am not your weapon," she whispered. Yet as she spoke, her glowing eyes burned brighter, betraying her struggle. In the distance, lights flickered through the trees, a line of soldiers, advanced drones buzzing above them, their voices sharp over radios. They spread like hunters, careful, determined, ready to capture her or end her. Lyra froze, her chest rising, her veins glowing brighter. The serum surged again, filling her with power. She felt her legs coil with energy, her hands trembling with fire. The choice pressed down on her: ruin or fight, surrender or destroy. But before she could act, a voice cut through the night. "Lyra," it whispered, not through her ears, but through her mind. She gasped, her body shivering. The serum pulsed brighter, and suddenly images flooded her thoughts, not her own, but visions carried inside the weapon. She saw human soldiers injected with the serum, their eyes glowing, their screams echoing. She saw battles, fields of fire, blood spilled without mercy. She saw men and women consumed by madness, tearing even their allies apart. The serum was not only strength, it was memory. A living archive of violence. Her knees buckled, her hands pressed against the earth. The forest swirled, her mind burning with borrowed pain. The serum whispered through the visions. "This is what you are now. This is the power you carry." "No," she cried, tears glowing as they fell. "I am not them. I will not be them." Her scream shook the trees, her voice echoing into the night. The soldiers nearby froze, hearing her cry, their eyes searching the shadows. Lyra rose, her body trembling but tall. The forest glowed faintly with her light, her silver hair whipping in the cold wind. The soldiers closed in, rifles raised, their commander shouting, "Target ahead, weapons ready, don't let her escape." Her veins pulsed one final surge, her eyes burned like stars. Her voice deepened, carried by the serum's roar. "You built this weapon, but it belongs to me now." The ground cracked, trees bent. Air trembled around her, the soldiers staggered, shielding their eyes from the blinding glow. Some dropped their weapons, fear overwhelming their training. The commander shouted again, but his voice broke under the weight of her power. Lyra stepped forward, her glowing veins spiraling like fire across her skin. But then she stopped. Her hands shook, her heart pounded, her alien spirit fighting against the tide. The serum begged her to unleash destruction, to crush everything in her path. Yet the soldier's voice still echoed in her chest. "You are not their weapon. Remember that?" She turned her glowing eyes toward the humans. Her voice shook, but carried across the night, "I will not be your monster for a moment." Silence swallowed the clearing, then the serum screamed inside her. Her body arched, her veins exploding with light. Power surged from her like a storm, ripping through the forest, bending the earth. The soldiers fell back. Trees splintered. The sky itself flashed with blue fire. When the light faded, Lyra stood alone. The humans were scattered, stunned but alive. The forest smoked, the river boiled, the ground scarred, but she had chosen. She had unleashed power without ending lives. Her chest rose sharply, her body weak, her veins flickering like dying stars. She fell to her knees, whispering to herself, "I am not your weapon. I am still me." Her tears fell, glowing faintly on the broken earth. Far above, the commander lifted his radio with trembling hands. "Command. She is beyond us. She is not just alien, not just human. She is something new." His words carried fear, but also awe. For the first time, humans realized the truth. They had created something they could not control. Lyra looked to the sky, her glowing eyes softening. The stars shimmered above her, silent witnesses to her struggle. Her heart whispered one truth she could not deny. Her journey was only beginning. Her choice not yet complete. The serum was still inside her, alive, waiting. And the humans would never stop hunting. But she was no longer only Lyra, the alien girl. She was something greater, something the universe itself would soon fear.